Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I want to discuss what I think about the Red Pill movement. So, I've gotten some very interesting comments in my comment section. A viewer stated, "It is not a good idea for men to get married because men only get the bad end of the deal." Another viewer asked, "Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?" So when I saw these comments, I thought these are very interesting take on the context of relationships. It reminded me of the same messaging that I've heard from the Red Pillars or the Red Pill movement. So I've decided to explore the literal interpretation of this movement. Perhaps there's more to consider. So, what is the Red Pill movement? According to mensgroup.com, the Red Pill is a social movement. It's loosely associated with the men's rights movements that focus on men's masculinity and personal philosophy for men. As an outsider looking in, the Red Pill may seem like another ordinary men's banter group. However, a closer look reveals an anti feminist movement comprising of men who are comfortable with exhibiting toxic masculinity traits. The Red Pill movement claims that men taking the proverbial red pill can open their eyes to the damaging ways of women and free themselves from falling prey to their grasp. The group claims that once you take the pill, the red pill, or join the movement, you will finally realize that female oppression is non existent and that men are the ones in oppression. Even so, red pillars also believe that men and women are different in terms of evolution and thus should submit to gender roles. They believe that women belong in homes, raising a family, and being available for sex with men, while the men go to work and provide for the family. Now, from that definition, from that point of view, I do not totally disagree with the red pill. In that, I believe that being a Christian woman, it is a woman's duty to be modest, to be a keeper at home, and to be obedient to their own husbands. That is, you will find that in Titus chapter 2, verse 5 of the King James Version of the Bible. It says here, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at the home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. So the role of women is very clear in the word of God. But at the same time, the man is supposed to have one wife, as should a woman have one husband. And the man, the husband, is supposed to love his wife, love her as Christ loved the church, in accordance to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Men and women are different, which means they both have different roles that are equally important. If one does not fulfill that role, the house becomes divided or falls apart. Now, what I don't agree with the Red Pill movement is this promotion of using women as a footstool or using the woman as an object to fulfill the man's sexual needs. And nowadays, I hear a lot of red pill influencers promoting and encouraging men to date multiple women at the same time. And some of them will even say things like, date her, use her, and then dump her. I don't like that kind of mindset. I don't agree with that kind of lifestyle because I don't believe that women are that a woman is a property or an object that you can just get rid of after you're done with her. I think a woman is a person that should be cherished. But of course, this needs to be reciprocated, as women should honor and respect their husband. Nowadays, you will find that more and more women have the same mindset, thinking they are of equal to men and they can do whatever the men are doing. Now, the reality is this very promiscuous lifestyle is even more dangerous for the women because there's so much more at stake, not just your value as a woman. You can run into the risk of unwanted pregnancy and abandonment. Now it's not just you who's affected, you now have a child who's going to grow up without a father. And of course, after all the fun and the partying, you've done your years of just having fun, you're now ready to settle down. Then you realize you're going to have a rude awakening. You're going to realize that it's going to be very difficult to find a man who's going to want to marry you because the reality is most men, including the red pillars, don't want a woman who's been around. And that's what's ironic about this, because even men who have that kind of very promiscuous lifestyle, they also want a woman who's pure and innocent. Now, I remember this saying from the elderly, growing up. They used to say this to the youngsters: women should be chaste and the men should be responsible. And my grandmother used to say this saying that stuck in my head. She used to say, you couldn't possibly expect the women to stay pure and innocent while the men are too busy deflowering everybody. So basically, that saying conveys the message of, you know, the accountability should go both ways. It's not just the women, the men should also be responsible. In the end, I understand why this movement exists. Men are becoming fed up with the aggressive rise of feminism. I believe men and women alike have abandoned the godly principles that were instilled in this nation a long time ago. Not saying that even in times past, many have misused and misapplied the scriptures and doctrinal beliefs for their own gain. I am not advocating for that. But in the end, women are destroying their virtue by engaging in acts that was once thought as immoral for men to do. Women have left their natural God given roles to focus on their careers and try to play the authority figure in the home, and in the end are still unhappy. So, in turn, men have begun to retaliate with this red pill, and understandably so. But retaliating this way will not only destroy the man taking that red pill, it affects everybody. When a man is irresponsible, it affects everybody: the women, the children, and the society as a whole. Now, I saw this clip. I wish I had a clip, but I'm still learning how to edit. So, if you're familiar with him, his name is John Lavelle, I think, and he's with the Warrior Poets Society. He said something about this, he shared his opinion on the Red Pill movement, and I completely agree with him. In that short clip, he said, the sad reality with the Red Pillars is that they will never get to experience the joy of a life giving, deep connection with a spouse, because you will never get that in dating. He also mentioned that most red pillars who argue the importance of marriage and family don't have that in their lives. And yes, of course, you can choose that lifestyle, but how long can you go with that? Sooner or later, you will find that you're alone and you're lonely. And, it is very important that we encourage our men and women, especially the younger generation, to go back to the godly principle that were instilled in this nation a long time ago. Because if we continue we continue with this path, you will see that things will just get worse. So that is the video for today. If you have anything you'd like to add, you are more than welcome to do that in my comment section below. Thanks for watching. I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.